talking about the event of the year today. It's Talk for Two. Hey everyone, Matt Bailey back again with you today. A quick shout out to our season sponsors, Axtel Expressions and the Tangent Bound Network. Good to be back with you for day 2 of shows this week on this Tuesday before the Van Haven Convention. Now, for many of you, as it is for me, you get there on Tuesday, so I will get to see some of you exactly a week from today in Hebron, Kentucky. But today, Executive Director of Van Haven, Mark Wade, sits down with me for our annual check-in about what you can expect from the best convention anywhere in the world for ventriloquists. And pay attention, too. This is really important because Mark has some need-to-know information about Jeff Dunham's lecture. I was actually even misinformed going into the chat, and I don't like to be. I like to do the research, and so just there's some information you may not be aware of. And he finally explains exactly what happened with the struggles with the hotels that he had this year. So if you have any lingering questions about the convention this year, make sure to listen because here now, our interview with the great man himself, Mark Wade. Mark Wade, welcome back to Talk for Two. How are you, sir?
Hey, thanks, Matt. Love being back with you. This is going to be a lot of fun. I enjoyed it the last time.
I enjoyed it, too. I think it's been about a year. I think the last time we talked was the last year's convention teaser that we did.
Yep,
so,
sure did.
This year, really cool, really big friend of mine coming that I'm excited to get to see on the East Coast. Steve Axtell's coming back. What will he be talking about?
Well, Steve is going to be he's going to be doing a lecture for us, and it's called Creative Ideas to Reinvent Your Show. So it's all about building a show this year. That's kind of our theme is let's build a show. And so he's going to give us some, he's an out-of-the-box kind of guy. And so we want people like that that'll come and teach different ideas on how to, get away from the standard ventriloquism things and get into some other things. And that's been his forte for a lot of years. So we're really excited about having Steve. It's been a while since he's been there.
Yeah, and give us some other names, some other awesome things. I don't have the schedule right in front of me. I should, but give us some highlights.
Well, we got really some great people coming from England this year. One guy is the guy named Peter Pullen, and if you might not recognize the name, but he is the creator behind Orville, which is a puppet used by Keith Harris in England.
Oh, cool.
And he was really good. And the one you may really remember, and I remembered as a boy growing up, he made the emu for Rod Hull. Rod Hull and his emu, with the bird that was the nasty bird that would fight with him all the time.
Yeah.
So he was the creator of that. So he's got a first-time lecture for us ever to have him here. So I'm kind of happy about that. Also, we've got some great other acts from England coming in. We've got John Kimmo from England.
Nice.
Top drawer. And, of course, we have a really good all-star show. And the guy that I'm really excited about is Aaron Williams this year.
Yes.
Aaron Williams was a big-time event back, a few years ago. He opened for people like Sammy Davis Jr., Gladys Knight and the Pips, Tony Orlando and Dawn. The list goes on and on. He was on Merv Griffin, The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, a lot of things. So he's going to be kind of our big headliner for the evening show on Saturday.
That's really, really cool. How'd you get him? I'm assuming he was retired, from what I understand.
Well, yeah, he's kind of semi-retired. He still does some shows, believe it or not. I mean, it gets in your blood. It's like Jimmy Nelson. Once it gets in your blood, you can't really ever just completely shut it off and walk away. But anyway, I got his address and information through Bob Hamill, who runs my hospitality committee.
Yes.
Bob and he worked together on some cruise ships way back when.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. Now, I have a question.
All right.
That has been bugging me.
Well, let's get it out in the open.
It's nothing negative. It's actually a really cool thing. What are we up to? Like 20 hotels this year?
Oh my God, it sounds like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's really what we're up to. We're 3 hotels this year.
Yeah.
We have a block of rooms at our hotel that we filled. We had another block of rooms at a Holiday Inn a mile away, and now we're at a DoubleTree hotel that's at another mile the other direction that we've been working on, and we're running shuttle buses back and forth between all of these places.
Wow! And
so our hotel filled up. We had kind of an odd situation this year with our hotel. We had the same time we're in there, NASCAR's in the week before us. They moved their dates. And they moved it to the week right before us, and they bring in 60,000 people. And then right at the same time that we're there for 2 days is the All-Star baseball game. And that's one of those deals that you get once every 20 years or so because they go around to different ballparks around the country.
Yeah.
So we had to compete with them. So, I mean, we're fighting for rooms. And I held a big block of rooms out and filled them up quickly. And a lot of people started getting their rooms in August last year when they were available.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get a room. You can't book your room before you leave. You have to wait because of their system somehow, and you have to go in August.
Wow, it's incredible. The question that I've been wondering, because I heard, I don't think it was you, but I heard rumblings that maybe eventually it will get to the point where we have to go to a convention center.
Oh, I hope not. Excuse me, I get a little drink of water here.
No,
I had to clear my throat on that one.
Yeah.
What happens is when we get to that point, then it gets really expensive. And I'm trying to keep us, I like to keep us in the 500 to 550 range, 600 range, between 5 and 6 someplace. Reason being is once we get 6 and over, then we start bursting at the seams and we can't really provide the services as well as we need to for everybody. We can't get around everybody. It's like moving huge groups of people here and there. The convention center is down on the river in Covington.
Yeah.
And from what I've understood, the hotel is one place and the convention center is someplace else. And no matter how many rooms you rent at the hotel, it doesn't help you on the cost factor for the convention center. It's like $4,000 a room per day, and we're talking, an astronomical amount of money just to go down there. So I want to keep it right where we're about 550, 500 to between 5 and 6.
Do you think, and for me personally, I think it actually might be a testament to how popular it's becoming, that you might end up having to cap attendance?
I hate to use that word cap. I mean, it's like a dirty word in my mouth. You say cap attendance, but it's a possibility. But it's as the Confederate general. Oops, I shouldn't say Confederate right now. As the Civil War general said, it's the guy there firstest with the mostest is the guy that wins.
Yeah.
And,
I would hate to see it too. I'd hate to see it too, and it is such a pickle. I hate to belabor a point, but what do you think the solution is so that everybody can have a great time? More hotels? I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really crossed that bridge yet. I'm still hoping that we'll keep right where we are. We have huge numbers every year. We get about 80 new people every year coming in.
Yeah.
And not everybody comes back the next year. So we have 80 last year and 80 this year and had 80 the year before that. And they start getting in rotation. That's why things grow. But
it evens itself out.
Yeah, we wanted to. Plus, we have our regulars that show up every year to be there and support us.
Yeah. So, what are you most looking forward to this year?
Just seeing all my friends and getting things started. I love it. It's as you and I have talked about before. It's more like a family reunion when you go there. You get to see your buddies that you talk on Facebook or by telephone occasionally. And now I get a chance to see them face to face, and we can sit down and have a sandwich or sit down and do something. Not very much sitting down time though, because it's run from the time you get there. It's like a stopwatch. You get started and you have to go. You
and your two lieutenants, Ken Groves and Tom Crowell.
Yes, my compadres in arms there, as they say. But they do a good job. Ken and Tom runs most of the audio stuff there, and Ken's the stage manager. Mm-hmm. So they take care of the big room for me. And we got to mention the pack of wolves I'm being thrown in with that are the Cars. Yes, the Cars. David and David Jr., the Cars, they're indispensable. They keep that backstage running really well for Ken and for me. They do all the moving and all the setting up and all the things that we need to do. Yeah. Now, important housekeeping about the convention. Some people may not realize if they haven't checked their schedule in quite a while. Jeff Dunham is on Thursday. Jeff is on Thursday, right? No, we just had to change that. I'm glad that you brought that up. I just got a call from Jeff 3 days ago, and he said, "Mark, it's Jeff." I said, "Yeah, Jeff, what's up?" He goes, "We're filming my new special on Wednesday night before I come down to the convention." He said, "We're doing some filming." He said, "Is there and if I get late coming in on Thursday, he said, I'll miss my lectures. Anyway, we can move me to Friday." Well, so at the very last minute, and I'm glad you brought that up, we're moving Jeff to 4:45 on Friday for those coming in to see him. He'll be doing his lecture. And Peter Pullen, who was at 4:45 on Friday, will then go to the Thursday slot at 4:45. So we just switched those two.
Interesting. Did you make a post about that? Because that was an error in my research. Did you post about that yet?
Yes, I did. I
Okay.
put things up. I thought I did, but I'll double check. But I'm positive that we did. And I've been contacting people. And we have some, especially the people that come for 1 day or 2 days, they come to see Jeff, and that's the person they really want to see while they're there. So we make sure that we got in touch with them.
Jeff has done wonders for the profile of the convention because he's a product of the convention.
Absolutely. He was a little kid, used to run around remember he was about 8 or 9 years old, and would hang around all the events, and he'd stay up as late as he could before his mom said he had to go to bed. And he would stay up with the big kids, as they say, and he learned from a lot of them, especially people like Johnny Main. He learned a lot from him and from other people.
Mm-hmm. And it's just, like you said, the convention is just a sharing festival. It's incredible.
It's unlike anything I've ever seen anywhere. I used to go to magic conventions. In fact, I sat on the Magi Fest board in Columbus, Ohio for about 27 years. And the magicians would get together, and this guy had a card trick, so he'd be over here in the corner doing the card trick just for his buddies, but nobody else could see how this works. And the professionals were over here, and the amateurs are over here. The semi-pros kind of floated back and forth wherever they could find the spot. But our convention, for instance, I went to the restaurant last year and looked down through a long table, and there was, all the professional events sitting with amateur events, sitting with first-timers and people that are brand new that just came there to learn and get a puppet. And it's amazing that you're seeing all that back and forth talk and sharing. So like I said, that's that family reunion kind of attitude that we have with it.
Yeah, and it's incredible. And it makes it surreal. It's like, am I really sitting at a table with Jay Johnson? It's.
Oh, I know.
I
know. And you're sitting there and you're splitting a pizza with Jimmy Nelson or somebody,
Yeah.
And it's just amazing that they'll be there and all these people that we've got. We've had the biggest stars in ventriloquism forever. I mean, I look back through our roster over 40 years. People like Clifford Guest was there.
Mm-hmm.
You never saw Clifford Guest at any convention hardly ever because he was working.
Yeah.
Johnny Main was there, of course. He was one of my mentors. Just a lot. Bill Boley. Just a lot of people over the years that have come through that convention and played a major part in it.
Yeah, and somebody who'll be back this year who wasn't there last year because I think he was working was Sammy King. Sammy King will be back.
Sammy will be back. And Sammy's another one of those guys, like I said, that adds a lot of flavor to the convention. He's another guy. You talk about a guy that will give you time. He'll give you the shirt off his back and time, to wear it, so to speak, as they say.
Yeah, it's just, what do you do as the executive director to make sure that is the atmosphere and to foster it?
Well, I try to make myself approachable, for one thing. Sometimes you go to these conventions, it's like a hierarchy. You can't talk to the top guy or top lady there because they've got all these layers of generals around them and underlings, so to speak. And I go down, I work right with everybody else, and I try to be approachable, and I hope my approachability with the word approachability, my being able to be approached, hopefully that it transcends to everybody coming in.
Yeah.
If I can do it, they can do it.
Yeah. Just thinking about that, how has the convention evolved since you've taken over as executive director?
Well, I don't want to brag.
No, brag, please. You're the guest.
I'll brag a little bit. The convention was dead on arrival for 2 years back in the 1990s. What had happened was we changed. At that time, the executive director was somebody that ran part of the museum, was in the museum, and that every year we changed convention chairman. Well, that you don't get any kind of consistency when you're changing all the time. When I came in 2000 and had my first convention taken over as executive director, I'd run 11 before that. But now that I've got these other 15 under my belt almost, you learn a lot of things, and people know that I'll give them a consistent product, something that they'll learn from and have fun with, and I'll bring that camaraderie to them. And that's the kind of thing the kind of leadership I try to bring to the convention.
Yeah, and something you had said when we talked before was it's good to have a group effort, but it's also good to have somebody, i.e., you, to have the final say. How do you
Well,
balance that?
yeah, that I think that works. Somebody has to be ultimately responsible. You know, um, you know what they always say about what a camel is, don't you? A camel is a horse put together by a committee, and so if you look at it from that point of view, the buck kind of starts and stops here, and
Yeah.
I can hire and move things around and change things around as much as we like. But of course, it's not a one man operation. I've got a lot of people I talk to that advise me and give me ideas and suggestions, and I take them and I use them. And some are way in outer space, someplace I know we can never do it, we can't afford it. So I have to rein some of that in because of the cost factor. But overall, I think we've been able to put together a great convention.
I think you have too. I'm looking forward to this year. I got nothing else because every year it speaks for itself. We were running at about 15 minutes here. I would try to eke out 20 minutes, so we still have a little bit of time left.
Sure.
You know how these. Anything else you want to share? I got nothing else because, like I said, this thing just speaks for itself. Anything else you want to share about convention this year?
We still encourage people to come to the convention. If they have not registered, they can still register. We never sell out of registrations. I tell people, open enrollment on our registrations, and the rooms are the problem. So if they can find a room and get a room and find somebody to room with, or find some way to get there with the room, that's great. We'll get the transportation to them. We'll run shuttles back and forth from different places to them. Free shuttles, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, so they don't have to pay to come to the convention, then pay to get a bus to come over.
Yes, that's important. Let's put it into some succinct information. Take care of that housekeeping. What hotel still has rooms? And for the people that are still about just a couple weeks out here, still on the fence for coming and they want to come, what hotel still has rooms?
Okay, what we did was we have a deal worked out with the DoubleTree Airport. It's the DoubleTree Cincinnati Airport Hotel. It's right at the airport, but it's 1 mile. You can almost walk to our convention hotel, the Marriott, from there. You can see it from that hotel. They are honoring that $99 plus tax offer. Most of the rooms around there going over $169 up to $250 a night. And they were nice enough to offer that at $99 for us for a block of rooms. I don't know where we are exactly on the block of rooms. It changes almost daily. So I wish I could say, we have 10 rooms left or 20 rooms left or 100 rooms left. I don't know what we have exactly there. We'd have to call the hotel themselves and see. If they do call the DoubleTree, ask for Clifford. Don't go to the central reservations. Go to Clifford and say to Clifford, who in charge of that hotel's reservations, that you're with the Ventriloquist Convention to get that $99 deal.
Awesome. All right, let's close this out with the one thing this year that you are excited about for convention that's unlike any other thing that you've had in the years past.
Oh, wow. Well, I think it's meeting Aaron Williams and seeing him perform. That's the big highlight for me, seeing him come in and work after I saw his clips on there. And also Peter Pullen from England, the man that created. I want to talk to this guy from all the things I've heard about him, how he creates his puppets. So Those are two biggies for me this year.
That's awesome. All right. Mark Wade, Executive Director of the Van Haven Convention, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it.
My thanks again to Mark. Hey, Mr. Modest forgot to mention he'll be doing a signing for his brand new book, Kids Show Ventriloquism Encore, at Van Haven. So check that out next week. And I have to tell you what I'll have at the convention this year. Our season sponsor, Axtel Expressions, will have the sit stand available at their booth, and Steve Axtel himself will be there too, though he's not for sale. And Pete Michaels will have our new DVD, Ventriloquism for Comedy Clubs, at his booth. We are both very proud of it because there's nothing out there like it for events. If you ever want to know what the real work is on doing the comedy club market, check it out. Pre-order now at Talk Number 4 TWO and pick up the DVD next week. We don't sell the sit stands on talkfor2.com. We link you through to axtel.com. So my best bet is just wait, and he'll have a few units there for you to get. And we're really excited about it. Now, next week, Brian W. Simon will also be at Vent Haven this year. I don't think he's told too many people this. And we welcome him back to Talk for Two next week to discuss the much anticipated re-release of I'm No Dummy as a 2-disc set with over 2 hours of extras on the second disc. Lots of cool stuff, and we'll chat about that on the latest episode of Talk for Two next week and the last episode before the biggest event of the year. Thank you again to our season sponsors, the Tangent Bound Network. Our servers, don't go to their website just yet. Mark told me they're under attack. The servers, I can still upload episodes just fine, but he'll be up and running about the time the convention is over. But we're still uploading episodes, but I hope that you guys are checking him out. But don't go to the website because it's under attack. And to our season entertainment sponsor, Axtel Expressions. Steve Axtel, as you know, creates some of the coolest characters available. Head over to axtel.com and check it out. You can find all you need to know about Talk for Two by going to our website, talk4spellout2.com. Reach out by emailing talkfor2cast@gmail.com, and that's TALKFORTWO cast@gmail.com. And find our group on Facebook by searching for Talk for Two. Tweet us and about us using @ and hashtag Talk for Two. Signing off for Talk for Two, I'm Matt Bailey, reminding all you vents out there to keep talking for two.